President Biden and Kamala Harris signed an Asian hate crime bill, which makes it beyond illegal to ever purposely and maliciously do anything to anybody in the Asian community. And there was a spike in crimes and criminal behavior in and around COVID, allegedly and specifically motivated by Trump. And so everybody started treating Asians, beating them, killing them, shooting them, stabbing them, hurting them. And then he gets into the White House, skips over every black and brown Mexican and Latino that have been getting killed like flies, and he makes it a law. Asian hate crime bill is signed into law. So rather you're...
So Tyrese going wild viral in the blogosphere. They're talking to Ben Crump, I believe that was Crump, right? And he had some things to say about this bill and the way in which it was passed, and more or less in the way it seems to me like he was saying it was done in such a way where there was an agenda. Comment and let me know if you agree with that, if that's what you take from what Tyrese was saying there. Your thoughts on the bill and all that, right? But if you have not seen, Roland Martin clapped back at Tyrese and said, you need to get your fact check on and know what you're talking about.
All right, y'all, let me make this video real quick, okay? Like real quick. Tyrese, you do not know what you're talking about. That video where you're talking about an anti-Asian crime bill, that is a lie. Please, learn to fact check before you start talking. I have debunked this nonsense numerous times on Roland Martin Unfiltered. That is a lie. I literally have walked through the bill on my show. In the summary, it talks about the attacks on Asian Americans. It is called the... It's specifically mentioned. If you actually read the bill, which I've done on the air multiple times, it does not only apply to Asian Americans. It applies to everybody. It also, all it did was also create one job that compiled data. And so again, Tyrese, you're wrong. You are 100% wrong. And so please, all of you entertainers, when y'all jump out here and make videos and people run with it, I need you to do some verification, do some fact checking before you do that. Okay? So you're wrong. It is not. People called it the Asian hate crime bill because of the attacks. And if you're also going to run your mouths out here and go, there's never been a bill for African Americans, that's a lie. There have been 3 hate crimes bills specific to African Americans. The first one, you were dealing with the Civil Rights Act in 64. Okay? Then you also had the hate crimes bill that dealt with black churches were being burned. I also broke that down on Roland Martin Unfiltered. And then, of course, you had the lynching bill that was also signed. Okay? And don't forget, you also have the Matthew Shepard James Byrd Act that dealt with hate crimes. Yeah, James Byrd, the black man who was dragged to death in Jasper, Texas. I went there. I broadcast from there. I walked down the street when he was murdered. And so please, all you blogs that keep posting this stuff, and Tyrese says he's wrong. He's wrong. Okay? I walked this stuff through on my show. Bill by bill, fact by fact. Got it? Please, call somebody before you start spewing stuff that you know nothing about.
All right, so you hear his response, and he's calling for not just Tyrese, entertainers in general to fact check and, know what they're speaking of. As he was saying, Tyrese is ill-informed, and, it's political season, election season, the drama's nonstop. It's all it really feels like you see on the news or the timeline is, political back and forth. And that's going to be the way it's going to be leading all the way until the election happens, in my opinion. It's really wild the way in which, the powers that be, the political parties and such have, think about it. If you go back a couple elections ago, back to when Trump first got in office, till now. Like, don't get me wrong, social media was shaking and moving, and we saw stuff like, election season drama and whatnot, and bots and stuff like that, starting back then, right? But it's like, here we are a few elections later, and it's just on a whole nother level, in my opinion. I'm speaking on that, totally separate from the issue at hand was being discussed here between Roland Martin and Tyrese. You know what I mean? I'm just in awe at some times if you really sit back and peep the algorithm and the timeline and what's going out there and the way the news channels clap back at each other and just what goes viral and how and in which ways it's shared and reacted to. It's all pretty interesting and pretty crazy if you just think about it, man. Like, the blogosphere is definitely a major tool. So everyone has found a way. Big businesses, political agendas, just different things like that. All the powers that be have found ways to use the blogosphere as a tool, no question. But hit the comments as far as your thoughts on that, the election and whatnot. But back to the lecture at hand here. Tyrese, Roland Martin, his response, his thoughts about what Tyrese was saying, the bills and all that, in which he's speaking of, and him saying that entertainers, just running with narratives and not fact checking. Do you believe that is true? And do you agree, disagree? Where do you stand on all that's being spoke of in this back and forth debate? Jump in the comments with it. Subscribe. Stay tuned for updates. It's Coffee. I'm up out of here. Peace.